Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Let me give it a minute to catch up with us because I know it's a little behind. So give it a second. If you guys could let us know if you can see and hear us okay, give us a 5x5. That would be wonderful.
You said behind.
I said behind.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, hey everyone. Minuteman was first in the house, even though Coffee First has her name first, and she said first, but she was actually second. Who else is in here today? Shannon and Kevin. I saw Blackbird earlier. I saw Papa's Farm was in here. Hey, you guys. So today, you could kind of see by are we 5x5? Because I haven't seen anything yet. I'm assuming we're going good. Haven't seen anything. We're gonna be talking about the Civil War movie. Oh, let me just see. I have my little he just pooped on me. She just pooped on me. This is our little baby pigeon. Her name's Rosita from The Walking Dead. So she's gonna be our little co-host today because she wants to hang out. Or actually, I'm gonna wind up putting her down, but this is our little baby. All of our pigeons are fairly tame. So we try to, when they're babies, because we did get them from stores and stuff, but then now they just, they may have their own babies and stuff. So
Too many times.
too many times, unfortunately. So we've got too many birds in our house. But we like them like that way as babies because they oh yeah, she did poop on me a little bit. Ew. But we like them as babies because we get to tame them and stuff, and they get really friendly and they get used to us. Hey, Yankee Watchdog, Dynamite, Bamagen. Thank you for the 5x5s, y'all. I'm sorry. Hey, Michigan Outpost. I'm sorry. I'm a little I guess just a little out of it today. I'm extremely tired, mentally, physically. We've been having a lot of stuff going on. He's had appointments after appointments. Medical with the VA and stuff. I did have a little bit of kind of good news. You guys remember we were talking about we were having a problem trying to get his surgery for his shoulder. They needed to do the cardiac clearance. We're having a hard time getting that and stuff. We finally have an appointment tomorrow afternoon to get the cardiac clearance. So once that clears, they'll be able to set up an appointment to get his shoulder done. He's also got an MRI he has to do next week, Friday, of his other shoulder because there's some issues with that one too. So I don't know what's all going to happen with that, but we want to make sure we can get all this stuff done now in case things get bad.
Get my shoulders fixed and recoup before SHTF.
Yeah, definitely. Can you hear that dove in the background? We have a dove too, and he escaped, and he's on our fan in here.
Dove-igen?
Yeah, well, it's a dove pigeon mix. So it's our dove.
I never thought that a dove and a pigeon would mate, but sure enough, they did.
Yeah.
Well, according to our investigation, it's going to be sterile, but they had a baby.
Yeah, so we've got a couple babies. I've got another pair that laid some eggs, so I don't know if those are going to hatch or not. And it's just crazy. We got all kinds of pigeons. And then we got our chickens and turkeys too. So we got a lot of things going on. I'm just trying to read chat here real quick and see if I missed anybody. I'm sorry if I missed you guys. Again, we're going to talk about the Civil War movie today. There might be spoilers in it. So just to let you know, if you haven't seen it yet, and you don't want to be surprised if you're going to go see it or something, then that's fine. You can click off the video or mute it or whatever. And you won't hurt our feelings, but I just want to let you know that there might be some spoilers in it.
Yeah, we went out of town to see the movie at Sulphur Springs.
Well, hold on a second. First off, he's really driving me crazy. I might have to try to put him up real quick. First off,
I'm gonna put this in the freezer for a little bit and I'll put him away.
Okay. If you guys have seen the Civil War movie, will you put a 1 in chat so I can kind of know how many people have seen it and stuff?
Or 2 if you haven't.
Better pray the ovarian flute doesn't come to your town. Yeah, that's a good point because we have a ton of birds right now, but nobody's sick. Everybody's fine. I don't know. I kind of believe some of that's kind of man-made and stuff. I don't know. He's gonna fall off the fan with it going somewhere. There he goes. Maybe he'll go home now. No, wrong way. Flying around our living room right now.
Go home.
Okay, there he goes. All right, awesome. Okay, it looks like a few of you guys have seen it in the chat. Okay. First thing I want to say is that a lot of people were saying this movie, they didn't like it. They said, don't waste your money, don't waste your time, whatever. Well, first of all, we got really lucky because when we went to the movie theater, we asked them, it was we haven't been to movies in years. It's been years.
And here.
And years. I mean, it's been a long time. We got there and we were a couple of hours early for the show. I didn't know what time it started, so we went ahead and got the tickets. And I asked the manager if they gave a veterans discount or anything, and she said, yeah. Well, she wound us giving us 2 tickets to it for free, so we didn't actually have to pay for the tickets.
Yeah, they
so,
gave us 100% discount.
Yeah, so I was
That was awesome.
I was kind of surprised by that. And honestly, we haven't been to movies in a long time. When we went into the movie theater, this movie theater was like a brand new one, I guess.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
seats were I've never seen seats like this before.
Yeah, I've
They
been to a
fully
lot of movies.
reclined. The legs went out on them. It had a little table that you could put like your food, because they had like food there too, like
Like
burgers and
Burgers,
stuff
hot dogs, nachos.
besides your normal
And we're
movie
going,
stuff.
and I thought about it, and she says, no, I don't want to eat food in a movie theater. But now you got, like I say, the tray
table.
there.
Mhm.
Next time, I'm going to have a cheeseburger.
Yeah, they got trays there for you to eat and stuff, and drink holders, and the seats went all. I mean, it was pretty nice. I was like,
Well,
well,
the only thing they didn't have, we were at a theater before that had, well, it was a theater bowling alley, and they had adult beverages.
oh yeah, yeah,
But the theater itself wasn't as nice.
yeah, most theaters don't have adult
No.
beverages, but a couple of them do. It just depends.
I mean, it's kind of like 1980.
Hey, Greenleaf, good to see you.
kind of like
Hey, Random, good to see you.
1980, I went to a movie theater in Cambridge, England, and you could smoke in the theater.
Well, yeah, that was back in the day and stuff before they outlawed that
You couldn't
everywhere.
in stateside, but that one.
Okay. So when I walked out of the theater, let me just start with this. I told him, I said, that was the stupidest movie I've ever seen. And then I calmed down from it and I sat back and I thought about it. And I was like, it really wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't what I expected. I wish there was more like fighting scenes, more action, more things
more
like that.
Explaining how did they get to that point?
That's the main thing I did not like. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen it, I'm just going to give you a little rundown of it. Basically, the thing I didn't like too is it was these 4 journalists, and it was kind of their journey through this whole thing. Okay. For some reason, the president, this is what I don't like, is it doesn't give us enough backstory as to what happened. But he was on his 3rd term, okay? So Texas seceded from the Union. Correct me if I'm wrong in any of this, okay?
Texas and
California seceded from the Union. This is the part, at first, I thought that this didn't make any sense, and then later it does.
Well,
Texas and California teamed up together. And I thought before I watched this movie, I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. Why would that happen? The more I thought about it, the more it kind of makes sense, because what happened was the government was against Texas and they were against California, and they were trying to fight them. So the 2 gang got together and said, the enemy of our enemy is our friend type of thing.
Mhm.
And so they got together just to team up to go after the federal government. There was also a Florida
Florida Alliance, which
Alliance.
was counting Oklahoma, all the states south of the Mason-Dixon line, except North and South Carolina. Which in actuality, if those states went, Texas would probably go with them. But in this movie, it was like Texas said, we're leaving the Union and we're going to have our own nation.
And see, I didn't think that this was possible either, but now that I'm thinking about it, Texas, we live in Texas, you guys know that. Texas could be its own country. It would be like the 6th largest country in the world or something like that.
Seventh biggest economy.
Something like
7,
that.
8, it's kind of fluctuates.
We've got our own grid. We've got our own infrastructure.
Oil,
we
beef,
send the
agriculture.
federal government more money than the federal government gives us. So we basically could do it by ourselves. And I mean, there's a chance that maybe Texas would be like, no, we just want to be our own country and don't want any other states or anything to be with it. I mean, that's not it's a possibility.
Was like the Texas government tried to put the bill up to put it to a vote whether or not to secede from the Union.
Hey, Oki-Con.
They've done it twice in a row, and they're fixing to do it third time in a row. I've been watching this one guy that talks about Texas frequently and the legalities and what's going on. And he doesn't delve that much into the border, but you know, the governor and the border there, that is something. But there were polls taken that a whole bunch of states are leaning towards that way. They said that the last poll in Texas, 60% of the people were in favor of it. 66% of the people that are most likely to vote are in favor of it. So if it goes to vote, it might pass.
But again, I don't know where they get these poll numbers or who they're
True.
polling because I've never been polled for anything in my life. So
But
I don't know what I believe. But yeah, it's true.
And he said there were like 13, maybe more states. No, half the states, half the other states were at least 40%, 30 to 40% minimum in favor of their states leaving the Union.
Yeah. So basically, what the thing that I don't like about this movie, well, one of the things is it's based on just these journalists. And there's a reason, I believe, why. Let's get into this a little bit. The
they seem
director
like they try
or
to
the
make-
producer of it is trying to not show favoritism. So that's one reason why he's not showing what exactly happened to the president to get a third term. He doesn't want to be he's not trying to show political alignment to anyone in this.
He said if I didn't know who made it, I couldn't tell what the way they lay. But I do. He kind of like makes the reporters almost like heroes. Of course, they're war correspondents, not normal correspondents, but still.
Yeah, these have been war reporters. All of them except for one young girl who is fairly new to this. She's looking up to what her role model is, which is an older Kirsten Dunst, I believe, plays the woman that's been doing this kind of stuff for a while.
And I noticed
they shoot, what was I going to say?
Oh.
I think one of the reasons that they depicted having it with the journalists like this is because of the way social media is and everything. Like the first thing when anything happens, like somebody's beating up some kid or something, everybody grabs their phones and starts filming it. They don't bother helping or anything. Just in the day and age that we live in, everything is so focused on social media. Hey, Dragon Lady. Everything is so focused on social media. So they're going from a presses type, because I mean, even now they do have people, you know, the press that go to different war.
The
do
photo
photography and
war
stuff.
correspondents.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to interview the president before the federal government fell.
One of the hard things I had with this story was it's really hard to tell who's a bad guy and who's a good person. You know, it's hard to tell what side people are on and stuff.
It's like there was a couple of guys. One was there was somebody in the building. The photojournalist showed up. The person in the building started shooting them. They hid underneath some cars, and there was a sniper and a spotter. and waiting to take out the guy in the building. And they said, "Who are they?" I don't know. It's just somebody trying to kill us. Who are you? Somebody trying to kill him.
Yeah. So there was.
So it didn't say who was on what side.
Yeah, I did notice though that everybody was trying to protect the press, and the press, the journalists that were on this journey, they were driving through I don't even know where they started from. Do you know where they started from? They were going to Washington, to the president, but
Philadelphia.
hey Steve, good to see you.
And the funny thing was, I noticed the sniper. Did you notice he had colored hair and fingernail polish and camo on his face?
Yeah. So I think maybe there's a possibility of trying to do that so you couldn't tell who he was or what side he was on and stuff. And honestly, if a civil war were to break out here, it would kind of be the same type of thing. Like you don't know what side or who's fighting who. It would kind of be a mess, not like how the first Civil War was. It would be a lot different.
Like there are some states that did succeed during the first one that wouldn't, and there would be states that didn't succeed that would, and states that weren't even formed yet during the Civil War.
But the main thing about this movie was they were just everybody like what was Texas and California called? The Western Forces. The WF were their main goal was to try to get to Washington, D.C.
It's like they weren't friends. They were both standalone countries. Texas, second republic, and California's republic. And it's kind of like NATO. You tack one, you tack all. So the relationship from California and Texas was like that. Not friends of my enemy of my enemy, or enemy of my enemy is a friend. Like I say, it's kind of like NATO. They weren't really friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they joined up to go after the president. That was the main objective of this whole movie. Like I said, it didn't have enough action in it for me. There were some scenes, like at the thumbnail that I had up there, that was a scene where a big explosion. It was a, what's that called? A suicide bomber?
Oh, yeah, right at the beginning, it was a suicide bomber. I could tell that person was going to do that because she threw on a backpack.
Yeah, and so that was one of the action scenes, and then there was just like a couple others. But most of it, they didn't show anybody per se dying. And honestly, they didn't show a lot of people. Hey, Pilgrim. A lot of people, they showed like afterwards or people that were hung and stuff like that.
So like
if you haven't seen the movie, I wouldn't say don't go to it, but like I did not realize that it was more about these four people's journey and stuff. I'm just really disappointed that they didn't go into more detail about how it started. Because like I said, it was the third term for the president. Now, why is he having a third term? Did you declare?
They abolished the FBI.
They abolished the FBI. It's like, why did he do this? Why did he declare martial law? Was there a war going on or something? I mean, it just left too many questions.
One of the reporters got killed on the journey said you need to ask the president if he had regrets bombing Americans.
Mm-hmm. But I will say they never got to ask the president anything. But
they did.
Hey, McBean, good to see you.
One dude asked him something and got some. Don't kill me, and he says, "Okay, that'll suffice as a statement," and they killed him.
Yeah,
if you've seen it, you know that.
One of the things too is, from a prepping standpoint, they did not like when you take out your enemy or something like that. Take their guns, their ammo, all that stuff. Or if one of your people die or something, take the guns and ammo. They did none of this. These four reporters were going on their own with absolutely no protection or anything for themselves. I thought that was a really stupid thing, I guess. I don't know. Like,
Eventually, they had helmets and Kelvar, but didn't help that wonder.
yeah, and I don't want to do too much spoilers on this in case
Yeah, we've
anybody
probably
wants
done
to
too much.
see it. Yeah, because you mentioned a couple of things already and stuff, but just it's not a bad movie, but I've definitely seen worse.
Well, yeah, it's like they made a movie, and when this movie starts, should have been 2/3 into the movie.
Yeah, like it should have been a series or something where there's beginning parts to it, because that's the part that was really confusing,
Right.
and I had a really hard time trying to keep up and figure out what the heck was going on with it. But was there anything?
That one blonde actress, the reporter,
Kirsten Dunst, yeah.
she was a
I'll have to say she was a great actor.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always liked her in movies and stuff, but she was really good. That stare that you were talking about, yeah.
I've known several combat veterans and read. They've got a thing they call the 1,000-yard stare, and she had it. She had it because she had seen too much war.
Yeah, because she'd seen other wars. She was a war photographer for quite a while.
And she had one line in it. She says, the reason why I covered all these wars, because I wanted America to see this and realize they don't want to do that. She says, but they didn't pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was really good, and like you said, that stare that she had down, she had the dead eye. Yeah, yeah, she was really good. She was one of the best over time. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. A series would have made more sense.
Yep.
Yeah. That was just. I think it should have been in some kind of a series or something, because, like, even a mini, like three of them or something like that. Because even to see what happens afterwards. So maybe like one before this was the middle, and then another one or something. They just left too much out, and you can only, movies are only what, an hour and a half, 2 hours long. So they had to kind of condense everything they wanted to say in there. And I think having a little mini series would have solved a lot of the problems for people. I don't think that it just wasn't what I was expecting it to be, though. Well, the main thing.
Maybe they'll do like Star Wars, where they have the movie and then have another movie.
I don't think so. I don't think there's any talk of having anything else.
Okay.
But again, it wasn't super accurate, I don't think, to what would happen here. And just following these 4 people around, I just didn't like that. I like action movies, and I think it just should have had a little bit more action scenes and stuff in it. It had a couple. But
and they had a lot of military equipment that looked kind of realistic, although
and another thing, they had the lights on still. The lights were on just about everywhere that you went. Like, they didn't, like, I would think most of the time in a situation like this, the power would have gone out a while ago, because if people are so busy fighting in the Civil War, you're not going to have people there to keep the power on and keep everything working and stuff. And so that was something that was a little bit strange too.
I know the Humvees they had, none were up armored with bulletproof vest or bulletproof glass, so that wasn't very realistic.
Yeah.
Although you got to use what you can get.
Yeah. And they did have Kevlar vests on and stuff, the press crew, the journalists, but and at the end, that young journalist, she was just getting too into, I guess she started feeling like she was invincible or something, and she was taking shots that she had
She was putting herself out.
Too much. She was really trying to get those shots. But photography shots. She was trying to get those pictures by putting herself in some really risky positions and stuff. And I'm I think that that's the way it really would be, though, because photographers are like that, if they're doing that because they know that that's gonna help their reputation and make more money and stuff like that.
But
Which
like
kind of goes back to the social media, the same
Mhm.
type of thing, people are doing. I mean, shoot, people are walking off of cliffs chasing Pokemons or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's kind of like the movie We Were Soldiers, and you had an embedded reporter,
Mhm,
and the gunny sergeant,
mhm.
or they were getting overrun, and he handed the reporter a M16, and the reporter says, "I'm a non-combatant," and the gunny said, "There are no non-combatants today."
Yeah, I'm wondering if they should have probably just made it into like a TV show series or something. I mean, there was so much that they could have done with it and stuff. I'm not sure why they put it into a movie form. Also, what was that other movie that we had seen that was on Netflix that had the Teslas that all stopped and
Oh, the
the Brock one?
Barack movie.
Yeah, I'm wondering why all of a sudden that these kind of shows and movies and stuff
Are
are
they
coming
predictive?
out. Yeah, that's another good point. What was that show called? I can't remember now.
don't-
That one
I'm
that
sure,
Barack produced and stuff with the Teslas and Julia Roberts was in it and stuff. But yeah, I'm wondering. Yeah, like I said, I'm not upset that I saw the movie. I thought it was fairly good, and the fact that we got to see it for free kind of was nice. But I know
Yeah.
not everybody's gonna get that lucky to watch the movie, and I
Yeah.
know movies are expensive now, like
Yeah.
$10 a person or something, and so
Well-
I understand. I mean, hey Rabbit, good to see you. And it's probably a lot of people are just going to wait until it comes out to rent or watch on a streaming platform or something like that too. And that's fine because you're not really missing a lot. Like I just wanted to see it because I heard so much different things, people saying, it sucked, I hated it, this and that. And I'm like, you know what? We haven't been in a movie in a while. Let's
And
just
I've
go
seen-
ahead and do it and see what.
And I've seen like the guy that keeps putting out stuff about Texas. He says it's chillingly possible.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to see it and see how they were going with all that stuff. It, I mean, I don't know if I would go and spend, $10 a person plus popcorn and drinks and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Well,
That stuff was expensive.
I mean, we went to a little town,
Mhm.
but I was really surprised how few people were in the theater.
Yeah, that's something too. We went. When did we go on a weekend? Didn't we? Sunday.
Yeah.
We went on Sunday, and yeah, I don't know how many people were in the theater besides us, maybe 20 or
Mhm,
something
at
like
most.
that at the most. Yeah, it was
And
afternoon.
on a side note, I had a sign out front. It was okay to conceal carry in the movie theater.
Oh, this I did not know that Obama was supposed to be involved in that Civil War movie too. So if that's the case, which I haven't heard that, then that makes it just more odd
Uh-huh.
that they're doing this stuff. I firmly, I'll let you get back to your point in
Okay.
a second, but I firmly believe that they are trying to push war, whether it be a civil war, a world war.
Well, I think
And
they're looking
anything-
for an excuse for martial law.
Well, they're looking for an excuse where there's no election, and that's why I'm thinking these came out. Because why else would they come out like so close to an election year and stuff?
Mhm.
You know, well, in an election year, this came out,
Yeah.
so it just doesn't make any sense. I think it's to get people's minds going and thinking about different things. And they're afraid that Trump is going to win. There's nothing that they can do about it. So they're going to throw out every single thing possible. They're going to try to jail him. They're going to try to bankrupt him. And I'm not saying I'm supporting Trump. I'm just saying the way that it is that they're trying to do that. Now, I firmly support Trump more than I do.
Biden.
Well, I was going to say a different word, but I'll be nice.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, something like that. But go ahead back to your point.
Let's like say I'm strapped all the time, and I walked up. I was planning on going in track regardless, but I walked up and they had a sign out in front. I don't remember if you had to have a license, but it said concealed carry is.
Yeah,
acceptable.
just not open carry. But I think it said you had to have a license. But
I'm pretty
mean,
sure it did, and I do have a license.
yeah, and I was kind of surprised. I think if they're in the malls, there's a possibility that you can't do either way, which I know most people would.
Most malls, yes. Mesquite, no. What's that one mall?
Grapevine.
Grapevine Mills. You can carry in there.
Yeah, but
the mall in Houston, security guard.
We were leaving from the mall in Houston.
All I had was my K-bar on my waist, and he freaked out over that.
Yeah, we were walking out, and he actually followed us out and yelled at him for having that. And he's like, but it's legal. You can actually carry a sword around if you want.
Yeah, technically there is no illegal money.
Yeah, and he goes, well, you're on
over 18.
He goes, well, you're on private property, so you can't have a knife or whatever. And
well, you know, they reserve the right to make that, but
yeah.
There
wasn't anything posted though.
As long as it's not posted,
and
I can carry it in. Mm-hmm. But if they say we don't want you to do that, then you got to leave.
Right. But I mean, he waited until we were walking out. We were literally almost to our car when he started hollering at us. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, we're leaving. Why are you telling us this now? But I mean, I thought that was pretty crazy. If Obama was involved, no wonder it sucked. Yeah. I'm gonna have to check into that now because I didn't hear anything about him being involved in that. But
we're talking not to change subject. We'll continue on from Civil War movie. Is talking about a series. I've been seeing some shorts about the series Fallout.
Well, John Prepper Nation was talking about that. I think he'd been watching that.
And I've been seeing some shorts, and it's like, I'd kind of like to see that. Has anybody watched the full episodes?
I think Dynamite might have, if he's still in here. I'm not sure. Yeah, has anybody watched that? I think there's only one season, like 8 episodes or something. It's on Amazon Prime.
I think there's more that I saw that they're planning on doing a second season.
Mm-hmm. I don't know because it was based on a video game, right?
Yeah, but they kind of, it's not 100% following the video game, but yeah, initially it was a video game.
Pilgrim said Fallout series was good.
Okay.
All right. Well, maybe that'll be the next series that we get into.
I like the guy that played the ghoul. You'll think.
Okay, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but
he was exposed to radiation. And because of it, he's all messed up, but he's lived over 200 years.
Oh, wow.
Like the beginning of the show, it's been 200 years since nuclear war happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I was like, what? I was like, it sounds like you're talking about the 100.
No.
Because like that TV show, I know it's on Netflix and stuff, and a lot of people can't watch it, but man, I don't know what it is about that show. That one is one of my favorite series. I even bought the books, which I haven't really gotten into yet, but I'm planning on soon. And The Walking Dead. Those are my favorites. I just love zombie stuff, and I like anything that has apocalyptic stuff to it and things like that. I just like that kind of stuff. I can't wait a few months, probably around September or something. The second season of Daryl Dixon comes out, so I'm excited about that. Watch the Rick and Michonne one. I don't know if they're going to have any more with that. I'm hoping that they reunite all these characters together.
Yeah, all these various spinoffs come together in the end.
Because they're talking about kind of having like a 12th season of The Walking Dead, only it wouldn't really be called that, but like where all the characters that, Morgan and Daryl and Carol and Rick and Michonne and the kids and all that stuff come back, and Maggie and what is his name? I always forget his name.
I forget too.
I can't remember right now.
Girlfriend's name.
I can't remember right now either. They were on Walking Dead, then they're on Fear. Here's the one Dwight.
Dwight, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just hoping for a reunion of all these guys, people and Negan and stuff. I know it's been going on forever, and people are like, really? You didn't like Negan when they introduced Negan? I loved that. I thought it
But
was great. But
when Negan first came in, I was like, oh, he's got to die. He's got to die. But then when Rick didn't
kill him.
Didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in that prison cell for so long and had time to think about everything he'd done. And it's like, I have problems with forgiveness, but he redeemed himself in so many ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did that part about him killing Glenn and Abraham. In fact, once he killed Glenn and then Maggie changed, and I just really don't like Maggie now. I know that that's probably something. Why's my phone ringing? Okay, I know that's probably a weird thing because most people like Maggie, but
Well, I like
I
Maggie,
just don't
but
like how she became so, all she was worried about was getting even, and she just became so vindictive, and I just didn't like that about her because she was such a sweet, caring, helpful person,
Negan
you know,
saved her life more than once.
and saved her kid and Rick's kids, and you know,
And
so
killed
much.
killed the
Hey,
leader,
Vision, good to see you. Glad you can make it.
and killed the leader of the Whispers.
Mm-hmm. Hey, this and that with Matt. Good to see you. Yeah, so if you guys are just coming in, we just talked about the Civil War movie a little bit, and kind of some breakdowns about it and what we thought about it and how actually true it was and what we liked, what we didn't like, what they should have done, different things like that. And now we're just kind of chatting. We started talking about The Walking Dead somehow. We got into that. We were just talking about TV shows that we like and stuff. Hey, JRC Homestead, good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, and also the part when Carl died, and then I mean there was a lot of different things that, you know, yeah, I did like it up until the prison, and then with Herschel when he died and stuff, I didn't like that, and I didn't like the governor, and there's just so many things. I think a lot of people stopped watching The Walking Dead like around season 6 or 7.
Well, it's like, you know, I watched it religiously until Negan came forward, and Rick was so weak.
Yeah, I didn't like that about Rick. He was a totally different person because he was so scared of Negan and what Negan would do after what happened to Abraham and Glenn. He felt guilty. And then even Daryl, when they captured Daryl and he was broken down, staying in that cell and stuff, I didn't like that either.
Well, like I said, when Negan came on the scene, I stopped watching it. I didn't watch it for 6 months, if not longer.
Yeah, Vision said that he stopped watching it when Negan came on too.
But then eventually I went back and gave it a second chance.
Yeah.
And it helped that when I went back, you could watch back to back to back, so you wouldn't, you know, like this. So it kind of kept my interest, and you know what I'm saying.
I just, one thing, I mean, I like this and I don't. Okay. I think they're trying to milk The Walking Dead, the whole universe, The Walking Dead universe, so much by doing all these spin-offs, because they had 3 spin-offs. The Dead City, the Daryl Dixon, and then the Rick and Michonne one.
And the one that we started watching was
that was an old one though.
Well, yeah, no, but Life Beyond.
World Beyond.
And we started watching that recently.
I didn't like that, but that's got different people in it. And then I watched Fear.
It started out sucking, but I think it's gotten a little better. But Fear also started out crappy and then got better.
Yeah, we just watched the last season of Fear sometime this year, not too long ago, a few months ago or something. And I really like the last season of it better than a lot of it. Fear started out really, really bad too. Hey Daniel, good to see you.
They were so weak for so long, and like they took too long to understand the world has changed and you got to change.
Yeah, we watched Z Nation too. Z Nation was good.
Yeah, but they were too fast.
Oh, well, the show was good, but if we have real life zombies, I prefer the slow ones from The Walking Dead and not the ones that start climbing walls and stuff towards the end of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's when
Thanks for that reminder, Vision, for you guys out there.
spoiler alert, curse word. It's like when Negan first saw a zombie climbing something, he went, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I don't want zombies like that, but the slow ones would be pretty awesome because then you could get some target practice and get your aim going and stuff like that. But yeah, I also this is a really funny show. What was it called? Was that blonde girl? She was a iZombie.
Oh yeah.
Haven't you guys seen iZombie? This blonde girl, they eat brains and stuff, but it's like
But she
not
didn't
real
kill
blonde.
anybody.
Yeah, it's like
He worked in a mortuary.
yeah, and she would just take brains from the dead people and stuff. I actually like that show. I'm a little embarrassed to say that I do, but I like zombie movies. I can't help it. Zombie shows and stuff. I think it's on Netflix. I don't remember. I think that's where I saw it. I think it's iZombie. It actually was okay. It was kind of good. I Am Legend. Yeah.
I like the first and the old one and the new one.
Oh yeah, Zombieland. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
like
really
that.
like Zombieland a lot. Man, he just wanted to get him some Twinkies.
Yeah.
I like that. Except they were fast zombies in that too, weren't they?
Yes,
They
they
had
were.
some fast ones.
And then that clown zombie that the guy he just lost it for a second.
Uh-huh. Yeah, man.
And then the smart and the dumb zombies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely want some dumb, slow zombies. I don't know how this got on. I guess we were just talking about
I kind of got off on a tangent.
well, we were talking about the Civil War, and then we
The
started
series.
talking about TV shows and series and stuff. And you know what? Sometimes somebody's out there just looking for a new show to binge or something like that. So
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
this
you know, I just we've got enough things to worry about. I like to watch the zombie movie. I might want to watch the fall. You know, just to disconnect. Don't have to worry about who's president, what's going to happen.
yeah, exactly. Like it's kind of nice to just
Escape
kind
from
of
reality.
exactly. I mean, we go back to being preppers and doing all this stuff later and watching the YouTube and the fear porn and everything that's out there. But it's nice every once in a while, just at nighttime or something, take an hour, 2 hours, just start watching a TV series or something where you're just kind of you don't have to think about everything that's going on right now,
Yeah.
and you just because it's not good for your health, for your mental well-being to constantly be in a paranoid and scared state. And honestly, like I think John had said this or something too, Prepper Nation, that we're preppers, so we shouldn't let these kind of things scare us. But for some reason, preppers are the ones watching some of these bigger channels that do a lot of, fear porn and stuff. They have a thing that says, oh my God, this is it. This is the end. We're doomed or whatever. And people click on it and watch it. And I'm not sure why people like that kind of stuff, but they do.
And I'm kind of a news junkie, but sometimes I just got to step away from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Just take, sometimes you just need to take a break from everything and do something else. That's why like we do art and stuff. I haven't really done anything since we moved to this house.
But
I want to start getting into it again once we get our art room and everything's fixed up and stuff. Because that's kind of like an escape for us too. Being out here in the country and stuff, I think it'll make some really good paintings because I can just go outside and kind of paint nature and what I see and stuff. And it's just so nice and peaceful to be away from a big city and all the hustle and bustle and stuff. And
I feel like sometimes I just grab a cigarette and a drink, and there's a couple trees that fell down, and I'll go out in the backyard and sit on the tree and smoke my cigarette and drink my drink and watch nature.
yeah, so beautiful. Okay, we got about 15 minutes
Uh-huh.
left. Anything else you want to talk about? Is there any other TV shows or anything that?
Not that I can think of. Oh, I'm gonna go get me a Coke. Give you if anybody, if you don't care, I'm sorry. My battles with PA and trying to get my disability rating increased. Today, before this, I had what they call a CMP appointment. That's to determine if you qualify for a higher disability rating. And the person that did my exam said that they would recommend me to get a higher rating.
Yeah, so hopefully that's one good thing because we've been trying and trying.
Well,
to
I'm
do
at
things.
80. If I can get to, I've got medical coverage because of this. If I can get to 100%, he will have medical coverage and the kids will have medical coverage, which would be a load of, oh, baby's still there,
Oh, I fear. Okay, go ahead.
which would be a big time stress reliever for me.
All right. We are not sponsored or anything like that. Pay for these. If you don't get them, don't get them. No big deal. But I just wanted to mention these to you guys real quick. They don't have a lot of varieties. These are, if you guys don't know them, they're oatmeals. This one's a homestyle stew with beef. And then I've got a Southwest style chicken one too. These are freeze-dried meals. I got them from Academy. I don't know if they have them like anywhere else or anything. I will say they're a little bit more expensive, but these would be great to put in a bug out bag because you do not have to have hot water to cook these. Like most freeze-dried meals, you need like boiling water. You put it in there, you let it seep for however long or whatever. These have a hot thing in them. Once you open it up, you just put and here's a nice thing. The food is actually separate from where you put the water at. So you could technically use lake water, river water, whatever kind. It doesn't have to be filtered or anything. I mean, shoot, if you only had tea, you could pee in.
I was thinking, well, I could piss in it, but I wasn't going to say something. And then she said it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
really
guess we're in the same way.
You really could because then it just heats up inside and the food is separate in a separate container.
Yeah, the liquid never touches the food.
It makes it so much easier. It's just something to think about. Just something I just wanted to give you like something that we like personally. The food tastes pretty good and stuff. Like I said, it's a little more expensive than regular freeze dried, maybe $1 or $2 more, but the convenience of it could help too.
You don't have to have a fire with smoke to give you away.
Yeah. So I mean that's just something for you guys to do. But
yeah,
it's like it's similar to an MRE type of thing.
Yeah.
And actually there's a lot of food in the package. I mean, one package would easily feed one person and they wouldn't be hungry or anything. But I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah,
I think what I want to try I think what I want to try to do is like every video that we do, every live stream, I'm going to do like one favorite prepping item or something that we have that we like and just kind of show you guys and tell you. None of it is sponsored. We don't make any commission. I don't have any links or anything. It's just something I just want to show you guys so you can think, oh, maybe that's a good idea or I like that or something. And then, if you need it, you can go and get it. But I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. I just thought maybe I'd just show you guys something that we like.
Which is more expensive, those or MREs?
MREs are more expensive.
Yeah, but I sure do like them.
Yeah, well, they're probably about the same price. I think one of these packages was like $7. So it's not horrible. It says 8 ounces in here. So.
Well, I like the MREs because they've got all the different things in.
The thing with this is like an MRE probably has more calories and more stuff. Like this only has 170 calories in it for the whole serving. So that's the only thing. But it's better than nothing, and just have it in your, put it in your bug out bag, or even just take it camping with you or something and make it easy, something quick to have or something like that. I mean, I'm not saying go out and buy you a whole bunch of these, but just maybe get a couple or something, because they're simple. So if you need something simple like that and easy to do, then you
Well,
can
it's
do
kind
it.
of like when I was in junior high, my dad was active duty, but he was in the ROTC department at Oklahoma State University. And I was able to, with our ROTC guys and some reservists, I was able to go out in the field with them a couple times. And that was my first exposure to MREs, and I liked it. Then when I went in the Air Force and we were having war games,
Hi, Frank.
at that point, I wish I had MREs. They gave us what we call box nasties, which is a white box.
Box nasty.
Yeah, box nasties. That's what we nicknamed it
Mhm.
because there was a white box with a dry sandwich and maybe an apple if you're lucky, and maybe a bag of chips. And that was it.
Oh my
Even though you're
goodness.
working 14, 16 hours in all weather. Like I say, there's a white box and we call them box nasties.
Yeah, like Minuteman said, the oatmeals are good. They do taste pretty good too. I think I had a pizza one time too, and it wasn't bad. It's pretty good because sometimes freeze dried food like that's not all that great. We've had a few companies. For Patriots, I do not recommend For Patriots. Now, not to be confused with My Patriots, or I think there's something else, but For Patriots, they come in like a bag. I don't have one down here with me, but they take forever to heat up. Like,
Well,
they're still, even if you pour in as much water as you're supposed to do, it still tastes bad, and it just takes
Well,
forever to cook them.
I cooked some on a camping trip, and one of my cooked was some kind of pasta, and it took 3 times what they said to cook it before the pasta was actually edible.
Yeah, you know what I might do at some time is just do a regular video and do like a different comparisons from the different freeze dried foods and try them out, different brands and stuff to let you guys know. It's probably going to be a little while before I can get to that or something, but that might be a good idea just to kind of break it down, like price range, what things are, but the convenience or how one tastes and that kind of thing.
And I discovered something. I don't know if I was being brain dead. Maybe everybody already knows it, but like pasta, dried beans, if you're trying to cook them in hard water, they'll never soften up. You need to filter the water.
Yeah, so that's another reason to have a filter for your water too, because apparently our water is pretty hard. Mountain House is more. Mountain House didn't used to be as expensive. They are getting expensive now. Their bags of them. Yeah, because I think I remember when they were like $7 or something. Yeah, now they're like 9 or 10. I think these oatmeals might actually be about the same price as Mountain House, maybe a little bit cheaper now. Everything's going up in price.
What's the one we started at Walmart? Those tubs, and then we started doing it online.
Oh, that was Augustin Farm Tub.
Augustin Farms. They had it in Walmart, but they didn't have any variety. It was the same thing all the time. And they're pretty good, and aren't they kind of reasonable?
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest Augustin Farms. I mean, it's not the best tasting, but it's not the worst. And a lot of times on Amazon, you can get them for fairly cheap. That's what we have mostly. Our number 10 cans, honestly, are mostly, I think all of our number 10 cans are Augustin Farms, just because they're cheaper. They might not have as many calories or as many proteins and minerals and all that stuff in it.
We'll buy some of the cheap stuff that might not taste as good because we need to make our money last. But then you buy a little bit more expensive for the taste so you can alternate. But the number one thing I always look at is calorie count.
Yeah, but the thing with freeze-dried foods, not to get, man, this video's been all over the place. But the thing with that is you don't have to just eat that. That's what you have like a pantry. No, we're fine. That's what you have a pantry for too, is
On mine we are.
Hey, Independent, good to see you. That's what you have a pantry of food for too, is so you can switch it out. Like maybe you got some canned ham or something like that. Or rice or beans or whatever to supplement with the freeze-dried food. I mean, you probably will not eat just a freeze-dried food,
Yeah.
you know, so that's what you have other things
But
to
like
supplement
our
it.
garden, the broccoli's doing great. The lettuce is doing great. The radishes and onions aren't doing great. The potatoes are
The
doing great.
potatoes are actually doing great this year. Last year we tried to do potatoes and they were crap. I might actually do a short of our garden a little bit. We didn't do a really huge one this year just because it's like our first year doing it and we didn't have near as much dirt as I thought we did. So we're gonna work on that for later.
I'm thinking about ordering a yard of dirt for the raised bed, a yard of sand for sandbags. Today I started doing the one raised bed that we didn't do anything with. I started composting in it.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of raised beds and we got this cool thing. It says it's a chicken coop run, but it's not really. It's like a wire thing, but it's got a top to it and it's got sides and
Fully
then the
enclosed.
door. It's fully enclosed.
To keep
We actually have that and put the garden stuff inside of it. That way we can keep the animals, rodents, deer, rabbits, whatever out of our garden. I thought that that was a pretty neat idea for us to do. But we are very new to the raising chickens, the gardens, all of this stuff. But the only way we can learn and figure out what we're doing is by doing and trial and error and stuff. So, you know, hopefully things will go good and everything. But we're about at time. I believe Vision Preparedness is going live after us. So maybe I'll see some of you guys over there. And if not, then we will see you next week, hopefully with some updates with the VA and different things like that. And we will let you know. But other than that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening and a great weekend.
I'll be there, Zane.
God bless y'all. Bye.
Adios. And that's all, folks.